And I got adults come here, it's a lounge. Like, can we drink and smoke in here? It's like it's a lounge for kids. That's new. We never had a lounge for kids. So
you see all these video games. Right. I can drink and smoke in here.
Yeah, you know, and they're like modern day arcade. Like, oh, okay, like games.
I've been through a lot. But only one thing ever really sticks to me. No matter what I go through, it always affects me. When I hustle up or don't have a dime, I'ma go mine. Good times and the bad times, they heavy on my mind. Tapered up or I'm starched down. Either way is mine. I feel fine, but everything around affect my vivid mind.
Welcome to a Vivid Mind podcast, the official podcast of Young and Cultured Luxury Lifestyle brand. I'm your host, Sid, a.k.a. the king of all things dope, King Dope. And I got one of my best friends in this mug, man. Something like my sister, man. We go way back. You know what I'm talking about? I got the extra Hicks battles in the house.
Hello, everybody.
Got to put the battles on it. Yeah. Because Big Dog Jamil ain't playing by here.
If I ain't say that, he shows go comment. You know you didn't say battles on the podcast.
We're going to have to get him on here, too.
Yeah, he'll be excited. He'll be excited about that.
So, in case y'all don't know, everybody know Miss D. All around Mobile County.
Really?
Everybody know, because she pull up to the school with the bus.
Yeah.
Or she may pull up with the car and take stuff out the car and put it in the school.
This is true. This is true.
You know what I'm saying? Be at the game. She, wherever there's an event, she bringing them games. She's the owner of Game Station and Lounge. And we just going to have a conversation and, you know, key y'all into what we be talking about. Yeah. And how we get to the bag. You feel me?
Gotta get to the bag. That's the goal at the end.
Hey, all day long.
Can't go nowhere without no bag.
So.
You going nowhere. So,
before we get started, I got a game I like to play with every guest.
Okay.
We play a couple games on there.
Okay.
And this game is a game I like to call Dumb Questions for Smart People.
Okay. This should be interesting.
Yes, it should. All right, so let's see. What I want to ask you.
How am I supposed to pre-look at the questions?
I mean, you can try. You don't know which one I'm going to ask. Here we go.
Okay.
Something people don't know.
Something people don't know about me?
No, this is something I know they don't know.
Okay.
What is your biggest pet peeve?
My biggest pet peeve?
Yep.
I got a few. Probably smacking.
Smacking? You talking about like while eating?
Yes, I hate it. It bothers me.
But what if it's so? What is so good?
I do not like to hear people smack when they eat. I do not. Nope. That bothers me.
Okay.
I'm very impatient, which is not a good quality to have. So if somebody's not on my time, I can be
ornery.
Yeah, so it's like
I remember.
the pet peeve is not to be the pet peeve is not to be on the time that I want you to be on. Like that that bothers me, which is weird in a sense, but sounds got to control it. I'm not
especially when sometimes you late.
Correct. But I still
she late, but she mad at you because you're not moving as fast as she wants you to move.
And that's a pet peeve of mine. So it's kind of backwards, but that's I don't know how to explain it.
Hey, but it's cool because we know you get to the money. Yeah. All right. If you had a time machine, would you travel to the future or back to the past?
Neither. I'll stay where I am.
Even if you had the time machine?
Mm-hmm.
You wouldn't even let people rent it?
I mean, you can do what you want. I ain't going to use it. I don't want to go back. There's no point in going back. You already came forward. I don't want to go forward because I want to enjoy the process here. And if I try to go forward, I miss something in the process. So I don't like
that means you are literally appreciating the present.
Correct. Every moment is precious. You gotta, you get somebody everything. So I wouldn't use it.
And that's why the present is a gift.
Correct.
Wow.
Get it, present gift.
All right, so I normally don't do this. I normally just kind of ask the third question.
Okay.
But being that we in Game Station and Lounge and we so close, I'm gonna give you a choice. All right?
Okay.
Do you want to discuss zombies or superheroes?
You said zombies or superheroes?
Yeah, which one you want to discuss? Zombies or superheroes? That's going to choose the basis of the question.
Probably superheroes. I don't really like zombies. They freak me out. Probably superheroes.
All right, then.
I like a caper too.
She said she like a caper too. All right, so who would win in a fight between Iron Man and Batman?
Now see,
carefully now.
I would like for Batman to win.
Okay.
Personally.
Okay.
I think Iron Man might take him because he got all that little extra sauce, you know.
Yeah.
We at a time now where you got to be with technology, and I think Batman probably a little bit behind in that area. So I think I'm.
You sure? You seen the new one?
No, I haven't. The last one I seen, I don't know. I like I said, I want Batman. I probably think Iron Man might get him.
All
A
right.
little piece of me think he'll get him.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Okay.
just think he'll get him. You know.
Yeah.
Batman's
Right.
suit ain't, and he ain't doing
It's
all
true,
like
but
Iron
this
Man.
also the same person who takes out Superman. He has
got
the
you.
weakness on every single person. So if he knows he's about to fight Iron Man, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're about to go to war. I'm pretty sure he will develop what his weakness is.
Right, but what I'm saying is we're in the technology era now. So if I'm going off of what I remember Iron Man to be,
Yeah.
don't he got to do the gadgets and stuff like that?
Yeah.
I just feel like I can create some gadgets to take you out. You can know my weakness, but if I got a whole lot of gadgets, I still might get you in the end.
Yeah.
And I fly. So you know what I'm saying?
Well,
Like,
he does on the now he got the bat suit. So he actually the wings come out
Okay.
and he can. It's kind of like hang gliding.
is he gliding or is he flying?
He's gliding,
See,
but
you
he can
can't-
control his speed and direction.
But see, can you go?
no,
can
he
you
can't.
just
He can't do that.
You know what I'm saying?
He can't do that.
I'ma
He
get
go
you
to the
though.
left, to the right, kind of swoop. He might be able to hit one loop.
See what I'm saying? I can do all that.
Yeah.
And then the little thing coming out my hand and
Yeah.
all that, and my mat. Yeah. See,
Yeah.
I think Iron Man might get him.
Okay.
If
Okay.
that's the
then.
case.
All right. Well, we have gotten into it, and she said Tony wins, Bruce. Tony wins. All right. So we're gonna take it back all the way back. We're gonna take it back to the beginning.
Okay.
Let's go to Deatra.
Before all of this.
Before I'm talking about before I even met you at Blunt High School.
Okay.
Who was Deatra as a little girl?
Whew. Well, I ain't gonna say quiet. Probably. It's hard to explain. I ain't gonna say quiet. I was this extremely girly girl.
Okay.
Then I turned into this tomboy who didn't want no attention at all,
Okay.
and then got into everything that was boy related.
Okay.
While still being a girl at the
what
same
happened?
time.
What happened? Like, what age was that you made that switch?
Somebody actually broke into our house and stole all my my Barbie dolls and my doll house. Who breaks into my house and steal that?
Somebody
And I had all
broke
of
as a
it.
bug.
Yeah, but they took all of it.
So where
And
was you
that
living at the time?
I was in Orange Grove Soldier all day.
OGG?
Yeah. I think we was on I don't know if it was side A or B, we was on the other side, I think. And somebody broke in our house and stole all my stuff out. And from then I was like, I'm done with this.
That's
like who would
crazy.
do that? And it just like it's like a switch just flipped. I ain't like nothing, girl. I ain't want to get my hair combed no more. Don't put on
Mm-hmm.
no dresses or none of that. And then I liked everything that was boy related, whether it was trucks, toys,
Yeah.
sports, football, basketball, and then that's who I became.
But you got to be introduced to the bar related stuff. Where did that come from? Who introduced you?
Just
How did you decide you like it?
I decided that when they took out my stuff, I don't want none of that girly stuff no more. So whatever boys like, that's what I
Oh.
like. So like when I went to school, I didn't go and play with the friends I used to play with. I didn't go and do the stuff we used to do. I went and play with the boys. What y'all doing? Play in the dirt? Let's play in dirt.
Yeah.
We throwing the football. Let's throw the football.
So that was really a traumatic response.
It was. I don't know why, but it really was.
That's crazy.
I think
How
I
old
felt
were you when that happened?
Like 5 or 6, I think.
5 or 6.
I remember
Man.
too. I remember like it was yesterday.
So
Cried my
rather
eyes
than you
out.
get upset or stay upset, because clearly you cried.
Yeah.
You know, rather than you staying upset, what you did was you got over it by saying, forget about it. I don't want to do that anymore.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So where was your mom and dad when this happened?
You know, now that I think about it, I think the reason that I did that because they didn't take my brother's stuff. They only took my stuff. So I think that's why I thought like that. That's probably why.
Well,
I just had that revelation right here at this moment.
Yeah.
No. My mom was there. She didn't like it because she used to love to do my hair. Oh, my goodness. I was like a baby doll to her. Like, you know. And she had me at a young age. So it was just like having a baby doll or a little sister that you take everywhere. So it was
Yeah.
like, oh, my goodness. It was like dramatic nails, hair. I'm like the flyest person in the daycare, in the kindergarten. Like I can remember all those moments. Like, yeah.
That's cool.
So she ain't like that. She wasn't happy about that.
So Speak on your parents. Like, who are they? What attributes did you get from them? How are you like them?
My mom, she's here present. She wasn't really present a whole lot of my life. Probably when I was younger. Mm-hmm. And then I think when I got to be probably about 7 or 8, I like bounced around the whole. I stayed with a whole bunch of different family members. My real dad was never present. Okay. But my dad was always present.
The dad I know.
Right. So he was always my dad.
Yeah.
Then he went to prison for a long time. So it was like he was gone. Mm-hmm. And so it just stayed with just random people. Stayed with my grandma, great grandma. And then my dad's mom, which is my grandma, mm-hmm. stayed with her. I think I moved with her when I was in 9th grade. And mm-hmm. from 9th grade on, mm-hmm. life started to just look different. But from 9th grade before, it was like just bouncing from every person's house. This house, this house, this house. Oh, they can stay here 1 minute. They can't stay here this minute. Where's their mom? And she come back to get them. No, but then you going to this person's house, and they got kids, and you got kids. So it's just a matter of just bouncing from place to place to place.
Why was they changing their mind? Do you know?
I mean, I think when I look at it now, I can see it as an adult. Like, it's really not easy to take care of kids.
Of course.
And when you got 4 kids and you got 2 more kids with no support or income coming in, that can be stressful. You already making
make
it
or break the house.
Right. That's all. You already making it with your kids. But as a child in that moment, you look at it like, why don't nobody want me to be here? Mm-hmm. Why am I burdening on everybody? Mm-hmm. So you look at it like that. But I think now, as an adult, I look back on it, I don't really hold no ill feelings about it.
Okay.
Because I can see it differently.
You don't ever hold ill feelings against anybody.
I can't, because however you view stuff is your perspective. I can't be mad at your perspective on life.
That's true, but don't get it twisted. She got people she do not fool with. She does not answer the phone for them.
I don't think I answer the phone for nobody. It's not on purpose, y'all. I promise y'all. I just hate this thing.
Nah, you listen to what she said. I'm telling you the truth.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go to... Hold on, you never did tell me what attributes you got from your parents.
Oh, well, my real dad, I don't know, because I've only...
Well, he don't matter in this case.
Yeah, so I mean...
You got a dad, so you got something from
And the
him.
crazy thing is, we kind of just alike, if that makes sense. That's the weird thing. We were just talking about that yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
But for my mom, I can see my mom is a person, flaws and all, because she can be Stephanie, but she is like if she has it, she'll give you her last of everything. Okay. You know, even outside of her being her. She's very loving. She'll take care of you. She'll give you what you need. Mm-hmm. If you need her, she is there when she can be there. Now, when she's in another place, she ain't coming. But if Stephanie A and Stephanie B is 2 different sides. Okay. So you got Stephanie A, who's the regular Stephanie that everybody knows and loves. Mm-hmm. And if she says she's gonna do something, she's gonna do it. She'll be there. She's supportive. Whatever you need. If you fight, she fight. Mm-hmm. Whatever you want, she there. Then you got Stephanie B, when she off in her own world, you don't know where she at. You just gotta wait till she come back and be Stephanie A.
What?
Yeah. But I think that part. But I think it's a blessing and a curse, because sometimes you give so much that you take away from yourself. Mm-hmm. And then also, too, just being a hard worker, I think she is a hard worker when she's Stephanie A. Mm-hmm. And I think I got that from her. Okay. And my dad just knowing how to be business-minded. Making your money make money. Like, my dad will take something as simple as a cigarette, and instead of you going to the corner store to buy the little cigarettes, he'll just sell them to you, and he make money off of that. Yeah. Or if it's something else you want, like a beer or something like that, he just going to sell it at the house if he there. Yeah. So, like, just thinking about how to make your money make money. And then come on in.
Speaking of stuff like that, like, is there a moment where it's not appropriate to do that?
What you mean?
Like, if you always in the mind of flipping whatever you got around you, is there a moment where you don't charge somebody for it?
It just depends. It just depends. I go off of the person. I go off of a feeling. I go off of what I feel like God is telling me at that moment. Because sometimes you can do something that people are like, why would you give them that? And it's like, because I feel like he told me to. And it may not make sense to nobody else, and that's fine, because it's mine. So it's just, sometimes it's just a moment. So you'll do it. Yeah. I think that's probably what I would say.
Okay. All right. So now we're going to time travel.
Okay. So we are going to the time machine?
Yeah, we in the time machine. I brought my own. You ain't want yours. All right. So we're going to go from Deatra as a child to now this beauty queen / tomboy, because she got the beauty queen on the inside, goes to middle school and on to the 9th grade. What happens in middle school with you? Like, who are you? Have you already discovered who you are?
In middle school, no. In middle school, I was bad. I was I was like, I'm cussing out the teachers. I'm fighting. I'm in the office. I'm getting suspended every day. My great grandma's at school every other day. I'm always doing something. I was bad. From sixth grade to 8th grade. I
never would have thought.
Seriously, I really was. Like, honestly, you can ask me to my Miss Ball. She remember 8th grade. I was bad. Miss Warmack, she couldn't stand me then in 8th grade. I was bad. All the teachers in 7th grade. I think that was my worst year.
Why?
I don't know.
Were you
just
not happy
doing
at home?
Stuff. I was everywhere.
Yeah.
So it was never a point of being happy. Yeah, it was never a point of being happy. But it was more so of a, like, in my mind, I think I had a sense of, like, my mom don't even tell me what to do when she, she's barely there. So how you gonna tell me what to do? Yeah. So it was a matter of, like, I don't want nobody to tell me what to do.
Yeah.
Extremely smart though.
Yeah.
Passed all the classes. Take a test.
But conduct is a grade.
Oh yeah. But sometimes I think they just, all right, let's just get her up out of here. So.
Yeah.
And then you go to coming out of 8th grade, going to 9th grade. Still kind of in that mindset. Because I think we was at the Old Blunt that first year, and they was getting ready to move the next year.
Yep.
And so now that they doing that, you got people from all over Mobile now coming to Blunt because it's finna move.
Yep.
Whereas before it was gonna be all the hood kids.
Yep.
So it's like I'm seeing something I've never seen before. I've never seen people who got 2 mamas and daddies at home. I've never seen people who, they got a person that actually have money in their purse. Oh, you have a wallet. Oh, you got a cell phone. You have like look at your shoes. Like you got I never saw that. And it was so many people, and I was like, this a whole different mind, the world.
Blunt, the old Blunt, because my last interview with Chef Rod, we was talking about that because he went to Blunt, same time I was there. We was part of the new people who came to the new Blunt.
Right.
But being part of the old Blunt, the last class to go into the old Blunt, describe how it felt your first day, like in the old school. And then how that changed to your first day. Excuse me, because I remember y'all basically, didn't y'all do a semester in the new school?
Yes, we did.
Before the new year even started,
correct.
Right? So the difference between the two.
It's the school, one of the schools completely different.
Of course.
And I think, I've never been in high school before, but when I look at going into high school, it's going to be more kids, but I just wasn't expecting it to be that many. It was a lot of people.
So there was hardly anybody. Oh, you saying there was a lot of people at the old Blunt?
Like, because you got to remember, all these kids now that's coming out of 8th grade, they're going to the old Blunt because they're anticipating going to the new school. So it was so many people. So you got kids that went to Scarborough, that went to
so that actually started the year before.
Right. So when we went into 9th grade, all the people who came out of their 8th grade school, instead of them going to the high school in that district, Blunt was going to be that district. I don't know whether they planned on opening it that year or what. Yeah. So they all went to the old Blunt.
So the rezoning that I discussed, you
got busing from everywhere.
That actually happened the year prior, because that was what I understood. See, me and a few people that I knew, we was all supposed to go to Shaw.
Right. That was a lot of people.
Shaw.
Correct.
That same year.
Right.
And it was like, and this is a bit controversial. Maybe when I have the mayor on, you can discuss it later on or something. Because I'm coming for you. Which he was not the mayor at the time. I believe Sam Jones was the mayor at the time. But they had rezoned. And allergies, y'all. And it seemed like they put all of the black people in one school.
See, the thing was, you got to remember, Shaw was old and wasn't nobody hardly going there anyway.
Yeah.
So I think, if I'm not mistaken, because one of my best friends, Alicia, her sister went to Shaw. So the year that I went into 9th grade, those kids were supposed to go to Shaw and go to Baker and go to, I say Mary G. Montgomery. But
a lot of them supposed to be in Murphy.
But I think that they planned for the new Blunt to be ready, and it wasn't. So since they were already planned to go to the new Blunt in the new location, it wasn't ready. So they just bust all of them to the old Blunt so they could already be at the school. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I think that last year, her sister was in the 12th grade. After that year, they closed. So I think that was the year you were supposed to go to Shaw, and they closed it then.
Yep.
So that's why you got all of those kids now coming to the old Blunt, because I think it's supposed to be ready up here on La Road, and it wasn't. So instead of making them go to a different school, they said, okay, we're just going to bust them to the old Blunt, do this for this year. I don't know whether it's a year or a semester, and then y'all can go to the new Blunt.
So this is my thing. I don't know if you remember this, because we're about to end up taking a break in just a second. with them mixing all the neighborhoods, were there any problems at the old blunt?
Oh, for sure. That's what I'm just, yeah, for sure.
So y'all was having scuffles and all that.
For sure, because it's like, okay, I'm PA all day. Yep. You know, I know where I live in Pritchard.
And according to my dad and me too.
I live in Pritchard. I went to Chastain. Mm-hmm. I know I'm going to Blunt or Viga. Yeah. I know that's what school I'm going to. Yep. I know the people I'm finna be with. All of us the same hood people. So now you got all these people that live up Moffitt, up Lot Road, up this area. Even the ones that was gonna go to Murphy, you live in these areas. Y'all busting all of these kids to come here. And now the people that are, I guess you say, PA all day, we see all this different stuff. You ain't used to seeing it. Yep. So now it's a matter of, even though they're not, you just think, oh, they think they're better than me. Oh, look, they got this on. Because this ain't something you seeing. So I think it's more so sometimes like an insecurity about yourself or what you don't have. You see what that look like. So it kind of bothers you a little bit in the inside. Yeah. So half of that stuff was over. You bougie, you think you this, or now the dude that you went to school with, the hood dude, he like the girl because she got the, you think he like her because she this and she that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it was so much stuff that you fussing and arguing over as a kid that it don't even make sense. It's just dumb. Yeah. So let's bleed over to the new blunt. Okay. Same problems going on. Now tell me if you remember this. Okay. 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 I think I know what you're finna say. Go ahead. It's first day, everybody in the courtyard. I promise you, what you talking about at the old blunt, I ain't never seen this before at the new blunt. It like 3,000 of us in the courtyard because we all people still coming in. Do you remember them ringing the bell for homeroom? And then you hear, ooh. I don't remember that. You don't remember that? You don't remember it was 6 fights when they rung the bell? I remember first day going to the new blunt on the bus, going to this random place way up Lot Road. Yeah, it felt like you were going to jail. Right, and then you turn. That's what it felt like. You know how the people in there be looking out the window and everything. Yeah, looking out the window, and it's like you got the theme music playing in the background. Like we riding right, so you know when you turn. Then our theme music must have been Boosie. It had to be Boosie. So you turn on that street right there, right? You go down. You know the buses get ready to turn by the gate. There's these 3 houses right on the side. Yep. I see this big brown bunny hanging on the noose on the tree. That's my first experience I ever had with the new blunt. I hated it from that moment. So I think probably when all that happened, my mind is in a whole nother zone. You zoned out. Yeah, because that's all I see. And then we turn, and then they spray paint it on the thing. Go home inward. So that was the first experience I had going to the blunt. Wow. So that's all I had. Well, y'all, we about to take a break. We come right back. All right. So now, what we're going to do, since we discussed the old new blunt, you know, and both of our tragic experiences of trauma, first day of school at this new school, she done seen a hanging bunny with go home inward, you know, and I done watched 6 fights in 30 seconds. I thought I was in a Kung Fu movie. I ain't lying to y'all. We're going to play a little game. Okay. It's called 10 Things. Okay. Can you name 10 things that you need in order to run a gaming business? 10 things? 10 things you need. Well, electricity is definitely one. Electricity. You can't do anything by any means. Any means. You put this stitch cord through your window. Hey, like, bro, how much you running? Just a little bit, bro. Just a little bit. Meanwhile, it's 10 TVs. Correct. Electricity, TVs. Would gaming equipment count as one, or are they separate? Like because you need the console, you need the controllers, you need chargers, you need CDs, you need. Fortnite is a popular game, so you need internet, you need Wi-Fi, you know, a landline. You need I mean, you just ain't like I give you 4 on that. You don't need, HDMI cables. She going to assess you know, that. Somebody might say that's cheating. Yeah, you need you gonna need help. You need a lot of help. Okay, that's a big one. Yeah, that's you cannot do this by yourself. Yeah, you can't. Or you can, but you're gonna be struggling. For sure. Because it's a new thing. People aren't really, you know, you're bringing something that has not been done before. Yes. So people are like, okay, what kind of place this is? What is it? You know, I got adults come here. It's a lounge. Like, can we drink and smoke in here? It's like, it's a lounge for kids. That's new. We never had a lounge for kids. So
you see all these video games.
Right.
I can drink and smoke in here.
Yeah, you know, and they're like modern day arcade. Like, oh, okay, like games. Okay, I get it. You know, you got to explain it.
Yeah.
Because it's something new. What else you need? Patience, for sure.
Patience, okay. All right,
patience,
you need, I say 3 more things.
You're going to need some money.
That's keeping it real.
You can't get out. You can't get none of this stuff.
And that's
no
after you buy the stuff.
No, that's before. Shit costs a lot. You know? Like, I mean, let's be real. Right now, we got 10 stations around here. We started off with 18, and we had four spare. So you got 22 TVs, 22 consoles. Now, when you buy the console, they only come with 1 controller.
Yes, they do.
So you got to buy extra.
Which are $60 a piece.
Right. Then you're dealing with kids who throw stuff down.
Yep.
So you got to have extra. You got all the other stuff that come with that. So that's a lot of money in itself.
Yeah. 2 more things.
Let's see. Probably support, I guess.
Okay.
Support.
So how is support different from help?
Because people can help you, don't mean they support you. You need a lot of emotional support.
That was a bar.
Yeah. Like my husband, this whole process from New York to back down here to that wasn't help, that was support.
Mm-hmm.
That was support financially, emotionally, letting me live.
Yeah.
Being okay with me living. Being frustrated at times, but that took a lot. Like, I think that was probably one of the best gifts that he gave me. Just being my husband, like, allowing me to do this, because most men ain't finna let you do that.
And eventually we'll get into that story.
Yeah, but that's the difference with help. Because you can come and help me do an event at a school. Great help. That doesn't mean you supported me, you just helped me. Yeah. And probably God, man, you
should have been first on the list.
That's he always first and last. So I mentioned the last because it's like, you can't do nothing
without the Alpha and Omega.
Yeah, that's just
the beginning and the end. The I am.
Yeah.
Oh, made me start preaching on this.
I mean, you know, you gotta, because when you're doing anything, you gotta pray and make sure you're making the right decision. Mm-hmm. Because if you're not making the right decision, it's all for naught. And then you realize God revealed to you, like I told you not to do that anyway. You like, dang, I done went all the way left, and I got to come all the way back to the right side.
Wow.
You know, so that's probably the most important thing.
And this has been 10 things.
I don't know if I said 10 on the right order, but yeah.
Hey, it don't even matter. That was when you talk about the Lord. Yeah. He 12 things. Yeah. Get it? 12? Y'all don't. Come on now. I know your numerology and how I work with God. He is the foundation. All right, so check this out. 12th grade Deatra. Mm-hmm. What is she going through? Graduation and college. Take us on that journey.
Well, 12th grade Deatra is not the same Deatra that came in 9th grade.
Okay.
Well, I'm gonna say I think I start my journey at 10th grade. 10th grade is when I really started. I think being in the location and being around different people. A lot of the people that I was like real cool with and best friends with in PA, we were technically we're still preaching, but I look at it like we moved over to the other side. So I feel like I had to move over to the other side. So being exposed to stuff that's just like completely different. You know, that you can do this, or you can do X, Y, and Z. You don't have to be this person. You can aspire to want this. It is possible.
Blend is great for that.
Yeah. So I think I learned that in the process, and then like, I mean, nobody in my family graduated high school. So I'm like, all right, if I graduate, I'm good.
So you literally the first person?
Well, not the first person. My cousin did before me, but before that.
So it was y'all two?
Yeah, pretty much it. These people came after before that. I can't remember who graduated.
That's deep.
You know, I think my mom went to 8th or 9th grade. I think that's it. So I'm like, all right, if I graduate high school, I'm good. I ain't had no plans to go to nobody college, to do nothing. You know, that was that was the end goal for me. And I think being around different friends and different people, and it's like, oh, like, what's your plan after y'all graduate? Oh, we going to college, we doing this. It's like, oh, okay, cool. And being drugged to a
who took you?
Alicia, which was weird.
You better say her name.
It's weird
because she gonna get you.
She ain't trying to go nowhere. But her, Tiny, Ashley, Monique, all of us were really, really cool back then. Yeah. Keisha, I think, was friends. Shane, like I became friends with the people who weren't We didn't even like the same stuff. Mind you, I'm still in tomboy mode.
Yeah.
All these people's are cheerleaders. They auxiliary. They doing all this stuff. So now all my old friends is you think you bougie because you got your new friends. And it ain't that I got my new friends. It's my new friends are showing me a different perspective of life. And y'all still on that old time.
Yeah.
In my mind, I have to grow. So it's like they're telling me like, man, we need to go to class. You got to get good grades. We trying to do this. My old friends, we just goofing off. You know what I'm saying? So I think I learned something different. So we going to the college fair at South. I'm just going. My mind is not thinking about going to college. I'll apply because they're gonna walk up to you, hey, you want to do this and apply. So I'm just applying, whatever. 3 weeks go by, I get applications. Acceptance letter. I'm like, all right, should I go?
Who was the first
Should I not go? I think it was A&M. That's why I picked the school.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's why I picked it because it was the first school. And then
what
my grandma.
Was your GPA?
I think my GPA was probably like I don't even remember. It wasn't high. But it wasn't high because it couldn't be high. It was just high because
you wasn't trying.
Yeah, just doing whatever. Because it's like if I graduate, I'm good. Like that was my thought process.
Yeah.
I'm not thinking about anything after this. You can have a low GPA and still walk. It don't matter. That's my thought process. And so now
when I gotta pass them graduation exams,
right,
I ain't got them no more.
That's it.
But
that which sucks.
Yeah.
But taking a test ain't nothing. If I see the material, can go over it. I can remember them. I can go and take tests, close my eyes like this, and be like, oh, B.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So that ain't nothing. But just doing that, and it was like I wouldn't have did that if I would have had the same friends. I wouldn't be who I am. I wouldn't go to school. I wouldn't have done none of that.
Wow.
So yeah, applying and then going. My grandma saying one day, all right, D, what you gonna do? I'm like, what you talking about? She like, what you gonna do? I'm like, what you gonna do with what? And my cousin's like, she asking you like, when you graduate, it's time for you to phase out. And I'm like, she gonna put me out? She's like, yeah. She's like, it's time to go. So that's the reason why I went to college.
Because you got put out the house.
I love my grandma to death. She will give you the shirt off my back. But I think in her mind as a woman, it's like, okay, what's your next phase?
Yeah.
So it was like, whoop, going to college.
Granted, I understand. I understand why she did what she did because of just basically the tradition of how we do things in the African American culture, or as I like to say, in the black diaspora. You know what I'm saying? Because I ain't never been to Africa. I claim them people when I meet them, but till then I don't know nothing about Africa.
Yeah, we don't know what they're like.
So I'm just an American, But we are trained that 18 you get not. Yeah. But being from experience, that's not how that should go. Especially
if you're not giving me, again, this is hindsight looking as an adult. Yeah. You're not giving me any tools to be successful at 18. So it's like, yeah, you feel like you're helping me, but you're putting me out to do what? Because like I said, if I wouldn't have went to college, it ain't no telling how many trifling dudes I would have dated, how many kids I have by now, like what my life would be like. When I went to school, that was a place to... I can't even imagine
you ratchet, Deidre.
I really was, and people don't really think that, but I really was. I promise you I really was. Thank God for growth, but I really was.
Wow.
Like, honestly, really was.
That's crazy.
Yeah. But if I didn't go to A&M, I didn't go stay in the dorm, and them people pretty much tell me to sign these papers, you get money, it's going to pay for you to eat three times a day, it's going to pay for you to stay in this dorm, and it's going to pay for your classes. And it's like, okay, I get all that, okay, yeah. And then you don't tell me what to do? If I wouldn't have did that, I would have still been in Mobile doing God knows what.
Yeah. So you go to A&M. I ain't heard the word scholarship yet.
No, no.
So you go to A&M. I know you ain't got no money.
Yeah, I'm broke. I got a job 2 days before school started.
In A&M?
Yeah, A&M. It was
in Normal, Alabama.
Yeah, my dorm was right here. It was the churches down there. I had to pay my cousin to take me to school, right? So I worked at KFC when I was in high school. Okay. So we get there. She's gonna drop me off. We hungry. So they want chicken. So my dorm right here is the churches right there. So we go to churches. So she was like, you need to try to get you a job while you're here because you ain't got no money. She's being funny because I already had to pay her to bring me here. Yeah. So I go and apply, and I was like, I used to work at KFC. And they was like, okay. They was like, you really want a job? And they was like, where you from? Tell them all. They was like, you really trying to get a job? And I was like, yeah. And I was like, my dorm right there, I can just walk right here. So I literally used to walk, and I got hired. I literally did right the same day. Yeah. So I literally had a job.
Hey, closed mouth don't get fed. The words say you have not because you ask not.
That's it.
That's crazy. Yeah. People don't know this, but a lot of your life is based off moments like that.
Correct. Almost all of them. Moments. It's so many because it's like when you just don't be worried about nothing and you just be like, man, I'm gonna go. God got it. That's how I think about a lot of stuff. And I think a lot of the times then I didn't think God had. I just thought that it's going to work itself out. But like now I see what it was. But a lot of moments are like that. And I just keep going. Crazy. It's like, it'll work itself out. You stressing for what? You can't do nothing about it.
Always do.
Always.
It always works itself out. But see, that is called being faithful.
Yeah.
Trusting in the one who created you. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. And that's something you do very, very well. Yeah. So how did you not mess this up?
What you mean mess what up? This?
No, I'm talking about going to A&M. How did you not mess that up?
I almost did now, because listen, you got to remember what I told you now. They told you, we're going to give you this. Somebody's gonna give you this money. You don't realize it's the government student loan. You ain't thinking about that. You just think about I'm getting rent right now.
Yeah.
In a few weeks I'm gonna get a check.
Yeah.
So I got a little change. That's all you thinking about. I ain't thinking about I gotta go to class. I gotta get up. Nobody don't wake me up. I gotta wash my own clothes. I gotta do all this stuff that I've never had to do before, depending on where you from.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And if you keep missing class, they not gonna call your mama and tell that you ain't going to class. You just gonna fail the class.
They ain't looking for you.
Yeah.
70% of the grade is showing up.
And you already missed the 70, because I can go take all the tests I want to and pass the test, but guess what? If I never show up to class, you getting kicked out.
That's facts.
So it really didn't matter. And then
that's because they get paid by attendance.
Correct.
So that's why they need you in your seats.
Correct. And then you go from just living my best life freshman year, then realizing, okay, I think I failed 2 classes. But it don't matter. Guess what? It's fine. Because most people here, they be in school for 6 years. Yeah. Again, people saying that, but you not thinking about that. You can stay.
Money.
You can stay here as long as you want to. You not thinking about that. You just listen to what people saying. You think, okay, cool. Then you get to I'm a sophomore now, and
how you become a sophomore failing 2 classes?
Again, second year you think sophomore. My mindset. I'm not thinking right. So again, now I think the same process I had when I was in high school and how I shifted is like it just shifted all of a sudden.
You thinking this a bigger high school? And it ain't that.
So now I'm hanging around different people now. And I'm looking at the amount of classes they have. And they're talking about their major. But when you first come in, the first year, the second year, you're really just doing core classes. Yep. You ain't really doing nothing. So I'm thinking, okay. And I'm looking at them talk about getting prepped for next year. And I'm like, my schedule don't look, and I'm like, yo, I'm still in math. You know what I'm saying? I'm still in. Why yours look different? You talking about what's your major?
Yeah.
I think my major was accounting because I was good at math, so I just picked that. So then it was like having a aha moment, like, all right, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing with yourself? And then I just started to figure out what is it that I like. I like the way the mind works. So I decided to do psychology. Then it's like, okay, this is supposed to be a 4-year program. I heard somebody say that. So I'm looking at, I print out the breakdown of the
classes. And
I'm like, okay, if this is my second year, I'm a sophomore, right? I'm supposed to be here.
But you're
I
not
still
there.
got classes up here, and I done failed too. I'm behind. So then I go to hanging around different people. Understand, hey, what this mean? I don't get it. Why I say this and this and this? I'm supposed to finish in 4 years. I can't do that in that time. Well, you got to do this and do that. So then it comes to, okay, you know what? Let me start taking it serious. I go to my advisor, ask all the questions. She's advising me. It's okay. You have plenty of time. Most people stay here for 6 years. You know, blah, 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 blah. You're not an advisor. You just advising me to stay here longer.
Because she's trying to keep her job, too.
So I started advising myself.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, what do I have to do to get out of here in 4 years? The date that it tells me on this paper. And she said, well, I mean, you can take summer classes. So guess what I did from that point on? I went to school all year round to get out on time.
That's crazy.
Because I start understanding being around different people who they came. That school is people travel part of coming to school. So you got people from all over Chicago, Ohio. They come from everywhere to come to this school. Atlanta, they come from everywhere to come to this school. Because Huntsville is a travel state. So I'm hanging around different people now. Their parents are not like the ghetto parents that I know now. The people I'm hanging around with. Because it seems like I always attract the ghetto people when I get somewhere. And then I have to come out.
Yay, baby.
Right. So now it's like, you know, I see these different people and they're talking about career stuff and what they doing when they graduating on time. I hear that. I need to attract different people. Because what I got ain't helping me. So having different people in my life, Darius, Alice, and just different people that we're in the same major together, we finish on time.
Wow, so they became your support.
Correct. Like you said. Correct. And I help support.
Yeah.
Because again, some of them too, they was goofing out just like I was. So we got to get out of here on time. Like my homeboy Darius, I love him to death because when I say we thugged it out pretty much. Ohio.
Okay.
They know Ohio. We thugged it out from that sophomore year. We finished. We got to get out of here on time. We got to get out of here on time.
That's amazing. So in that moment, because you asked, God sent a way.
Mm-hmm. It's always a way. It's always a way. It just depends on how you look at it. You'll see the way if you want to. Correct. And sometimes people I just don't see how this gonna work. You can see, you just don't want to see sometimes. Or are you aligned to get it? Because it can be sitting right there. But if you sitting right here and you just want to wallow in it and you don't want to move, you ain't gonna get there. It's sitting right there. If you can go get it.
Yeah.
You gotta do your part.
Hey, a lot of people ain't doing their part.
And they think they are.
So, you get your degree.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen the bill?
No, that ain't important. Again, that stuff ain't important to me.
So you still don't even know what you owe.
Nope. I don't care. I graduated, so it don't matter. You graduated, so yeah. It's perfect.
Yeah.
I did everything I'm supposed to do. I have a bachelor's in psychology. That's the one I have, and then I have a master's in mental health counseling. But yeah.
That's so dope, man.
And the plan is I intern because they said that's what you should do to help you get a job. I had a job lined up in Huntsville.
Huntsville, okay.
At the place I was interning at.
Okay.
Then Ashley comes and say, D, let's move to New York. I'm like, man, we move to New York. Get out of here.
Just randomly.
Randomly. She always talk about she always wanted to go to New York. That's one thing she always wanted to do. I ain't thinking she finna ask me to go with. I'm like, no, dude, like, we not going. She's like, come on, let's move. If it don't work out, we can just move back. And I'm like, Ashley, we're not moving to New York. Then I said, we not doing it. Now me, being the person I am, thinking, I mean, what'll happen if we do move? Yeah. So I applied to graduate school. Got into 2. So I said, well, let's go. She was like, for real? I'm like, yeah.
What schools?
College of New Rochelle, and I think it's Iona. I think it's Iona University, I think. I could be saying it wrong.
Both of them are in New York?
Both of them in New York, yeah.
Okay.
So, we both graduated in May. Mm-hmm. We stayed in my apartment in Huntsville for like a week and a half. Packed, went back to Mobile. Told everybody we moved to New York. Nobody believes us except Alicia. She does both of our hair. We get a U-Haul, hook it to my blue truck, drive back to Huntsville, pack up all the stuff, we get on the road. Nobody believes us now except Alicia. So the whole time we gone, we taking pictures at every state. We recording in the car.
You still got them pictures?
I think I do.
That's crazy.
We're recording the whole way, and the whole time I'm saying, I can't believe I'd have let you talk me into move to New York. She's like, it's fine, we're gonna do great. We don't know not one soul. We don't know not one person. We ain't got nowhere to stay. We just doing it. You see it on TV, let's go. That's Ashley. Ashley like live on the fly, let's go. Yeah. So that's what we did.
So, which is true now. If you see certain things in movies and film, I don't care how ridiculous they look, some things are true.
Yeah.
Some things can happen the way that you see them.
It definitely did happen like that.
And then there are other things that you probably shouldn't do that you see on these movies. Yeah. You know, or just flat out ridiculous that won't be good for you. But in this case, following all them classic comedies, let's just go. Yeah.
And that's what we did. Literally, like, I'm being serious. Literally, pack up, let's go. You don't know now you don't even know nobody on the way to New York in another state. Yeah. Maybe you know somebody in Virginia, you know, New Jersey, Baltimore.
None of it. Just get there.
Just go.
Wow.
Then her mom said, y'all really going up there? And I think the guy that her mom was married to, he was like, well, I know somebody up there. Let me call her. Met this random lady we never met in the city. We parked this is the funny part. We parked the truck in the U-Haul at a hotel in Jersey. So we decided to get cute, get all dressed up, get on the transit to go to the city. We just gonna live our best like the first day. Yeah. So then he wound up calling the lady. She met us in Manhattan. And so she's like, I can't believe y'all came all this way, ain't got nowhere to stay. She's like, well, my daughter usually rents out rooms in her apartment. Apparently that's a common thing in New York. I'll see what I can do. So we wound up leaving from Manhattan and going to Harlem and staying at this lady's house. We wound up sleeping on her couch that night. We had talked everything out. She was like, if y'all pay $300, y'all can stay. Now, again, you can't see the whole apartment. You just see what you see. Yeah. So we go back the next morning to Jersey. We go check out at the hotel. We get in the truck. So we drive back to Harlem. So we gets there, go upstairs or whatever. She done moved all of her stuff. That was her bedroom. She moved all of her stuff to the living room. So now I'm serious. I guess that's how bad she needed or wanted the money. Yeah. It didn't register then.
Yeah, she decided she gonna live in the living room.
Because we bringing stuff. The room.
I guess it's called the living room.
And the room is this big. Like our room is this big. So as we're coming out looking, and I'm like, mind you, she had 3 daughters. I left that out. She had 3 daughters, and one of them has a child.
What?
All of them in the bunk bed stacked up in the room. So I asked the youngest, and I said, "Is your mom living in the living room?" She's like, "Yeah, you guys need the room." So she's in the living room. Y'all can take the room. Tell me where you ever would have thought you would have saw somebody do that in life.
Never.
That's how hard it is to live in New York. That's how hard it is. Mind you, this ain't no fancy apartment. Don't get me wrong. We in Harlem.
Yeah.
Like, real deal. Like, Frederick Douglass, I think, at 157. Like, real deal, New York. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you really move all your stuff out your room. If anything, I would have told me y'all can get the living room for a little change. I ain't gonna move out of my room.
Mm-hmm.
And you got 3 daughters. Then the funny part is, this whole time we riding around, we ain't even had no lock on the U-Haul.
So what happened when you made it back to Jersey?
So, no, we made it back to Jersey. Still didn't realize.
I'm saying, your stuff was still there?
Yeah, because we, at this time, still don't realize ain't no lock on there.
Okay.
So, we get to Harlem, go up and talk to her, whatever. So, we get ready to try to, take some stuff out. You going to take a few things that was like, we need to find a storage. We literally have everything we own in this. We can't fit all this in this little bitty roach room.
Roach room.
So, we go to open the U-Haul, realize, we look at each other and say, we ain't even got no lock on the U-Haul. So we lifted up all the stuff in there. Actually being funny, look at God. So we laughing and joking, taking the stuff upstairs. We find a storage around the corner, put the stuff in the storage, turn the little U-Haul thing in, and we live in Harlem now.
That's dope.
I had $5,000 saved up, because I'm a saver, I always save. She had no money. We lived off $5,000 for about probably a few months. And then I think by this time I had to apply again, because I'm a person that if I work at one job, I'm gonna try to find that same company to transfer. So I think that first week or two after we just excited about living there, I tried to apply at Target. They wasn't hiring, and so that's the money we pretty much living off of. And so then
So
soon
you
that
was
money
working
ran
at
out.
Target before you left?
Yeah, in Huntsville.
Yeah,
I had 3 jobs in Huntsville.
I was gonna say, last time we heard about Huntsville, you was at Church of Chicken.
No, I had left there. I left there with the Crystals, and then with the Target, and then I started working with old people. So I had Crystals, Target, and old people.
Okay.
Come save. I'm a saver.
Yeah.
So that's how we had the money to be in New York.
Yeah.
So that money runs out. We hold hands with prayer about it. God gonna work it out. We let it go. 2 weeks later,
Do
we
the
got
lady
it.
who owned the apartment, is she in the circle? Or the
No,
circle?
she in the circle. It's just
Oh,
me, Ashley.
it's
We
just
don't
you
see it.
and
So yeah.
I was just wondering.
We pray about that. Let it go, leave it in God's hands. Probably like a week or two later, Target called me. Hey, are you still looking for a job? Yes, ma'am. Get a job. Then Ashley gets a job.
Wow.
Mind you, school start. So I'm literally driving from Harlem to New Rochelle. So the way New York works is you got boroughs. So you got Harlem and Manhattan is here. You got the Bronx right here. And then you got the outskirts, Yonkers, and New Rochelle. So I'm literally traveling like an hour and change to school 2 days a week.
So
Grad school.
you complete grad school?
Yeah. I completed it when I completed grad school in 2 years. 2.5 years.
2 years.
That was the time, 2.5 years.
You seen the bill yet?
What? Oh, yeah, I see it all the time.
Okay, so
I
now
think I owe in student, I guess you say student loan debt collectively $181,000.
that's now? Or that was then?
No, that's now. It asked me, do I use the degree? This is one sheet right here from A&M, and this is one sheet right here from College of New Rochelle, and both of them are sitting in a drawer at home. I don't use it at all. I use it when people ask about it. I mean, it sounds good.
Yeah.
For people to be like, oh, what school did you go to? Oh, I did this and this and this. They were like, oh, it's great. It sounds good, but do we use it? No.
How many years we been close now?
Probably like 5, 6.
Yeah, about 5, 6 years. I ain't never seen these degrees.
Ever. I don't even see them.
And I'd have been to the house.
I don't even see them. I don't even see them. I don't even see them.
All right, y'all. We about to take a break. And when we come back, we going to get into how she came upon her supportive husband and how that led over to Game Station and Lounge and the business venture she got coming up next. All right. So you graduate from what was the college again?
Alabama A&M. No, College of New Rochelle.
Yeah. Okay. Still don't know what you said, but
The College of New Rochelle. It's in New Rochelle, New York.
College of New Rochelle in New Rochelle, New York.
Correct.
Okay. You leave?
What you mean, leave what?
I'm done. I'm out.
Yeah, I'm done. I've been in school since I was 4.
Yeah.
Like literally consistently. So
I know you done with school, so you done with New York too? Or
no, so you go from staying in Harlem, having a relationship with the people in Harlem. You know, she has 3 daughters who are not being led the right way. So you just kind of showing them how life goes. Okay. You have people who don't like that because, you know, you telling them their kids to do something better than what their parents doing. Not in a disrespectful way, but just to be better. You know, certain stuff you want this, you can get it. For some reason you don't like it. We didn't get into it. It's just like underlying tension. Okay. So then you randomly meet a person who is from New York, but y'all went to school together in middle school. Y'all was like this in middle school. Y'all was bad together, but she born and raised in New York, and she's actually there. So you meet her. Then you go to, y'all can come stay in my living room if you got the same amount of money you paying her. So then you go to Brooklyn. Okay. And then the Target I was working at is in Brooklyn, literally not that far. So guess what? Church's situation. I can go walk to work again. Yeah. And people in New York walk all the time. Yeah. Then you go from, you got a storage in Harlem. Me and Ashley at the storage one day. The guy's randomly talking about somebody who has a brownstone for rent in Brooklyn for cheap. Me and Ashley, we like to talk to people. What a brownstone at? What part of Brooklyn? It's in an area where it's mostly upper class people, like the stuff you see on TV. Okay. So the guy is the guy's a black gentleman. He's originally from Atlanta. His mom and dad moved to Brooklyn, made something better themselves. They passed the house down to him. Okay. So he works at New York Presbyterian, the #1 hospital in New York. So we go and talk to him about the brownstone. It's the exact same price as what we paying her, $300 a piece, which is $600 to stay on her couch. What? We go to stand on the second floor to where you have your room and my room. We paying the same $300.
So you went from sharing a little bitty room
to sharing a bigger living room to having your own room in each one.
And the price stayed the same.
It's the same. Then you go to the gentleman saying he works at the hospital, making X, Y, and Z. I'm going to go apply to the hospital. Now, people say this all the time, and I think I understand it now. Nobody can go into a job interview and get hired the exact same day. It usually doesn't work like that, especially at the #1 hospital in New York. So I went to the interview. First, I called. They called me the next day. I went in for the interview the day after that. I got hired the same day. So I told him, and he's like, that's not possible. He's like, it's not possible. I said, no, I'm literally hired. Like, I started like 2 days. He's like, no way. I was like literally, she hired me. He went to work later that night and talked to her about it. Apparently, she talked well about me. And he was like, I've never seen that happen in life. People don't get hired the same day. He's like, it's a hard hospital to get into. Just don't happen.
It's also hard to find somewhere to live in New York.
Correct. And we found it a couple of times. Yeah. So, you know.
Okay. Yeah. God with you the whole stuff.
Right. So now I work at the hospital. Now I'm working in housekeeping. It sounds, to most people, may sound weird, but it's the easiest job in the world. They literally give you this little pager. It beeps and says room 304. You go to the 3rd floor, you clean the room. You have 40 minutes to clean the room properly. You clean the room in 20 minutes, you got 20 minutes chill time every room. The best job in the world. Like literally the best job in the world. I'm getting paid $18 and change an hour.
That's good money.
I pay $300 a month. Yeah. That's it. Yeah. No lights, no water, nothing included in that. You just buy your own food and stuff. Yeah. That's great.
That is great.
So then I go from working.
You living like you in Alabama and New York.
Correct. So then I go from, okay, how long does it take to transfer out of this position? It's a great position, but again, I want something better. Yeah. And I know I'm finna finish grad school, so now I'm setting myself up for my future. You can work in this position for a year before you can transfer out. Okay, I'm at 9 months now. Let me go ahead and start looking. So I go apply to work in a psychiatric hospital. I get hired there before the year come up, but I can't transfer to a year, so I do my 3 months, and when that time's up, I transfer out. I'm making way more money. So now in my mind, I'm trying to figure out, okay, I graduated in like 9 months at this point almost. Okay, then I can do this and do this and do that. So when I finish school, I stop and I say, you know what, I've been in school since I was 4. I need a breather. Yeah. Let me just work this for a year and do nothing and just stay right here and just take a mental break. So I go from doing all that, and then I get complacent for 3 years. I stay in this position now because, and I say the money is great. Yeah. You can't ask for anything better.
So they rocking you to sleep at this point.
Correct. And it's just money on money on money. Like when I say I'm coming down to Mobile, I'm just, I ain't gonna say throwing it, but it's like whatever you want, you can get. I send gifts to all my cousins. They know when we come down here, we can do whatever you want to do. Cause I wasn't single. I had a boyfriend, but it's like I got money for days now.
So is his boyfriend Jamel at the time?
Yeah.
Okay, so it wasn't no
What? The funny thing is, I actually had a dude that I talked to when I was working at Target, and when I went to the hospital, we were talking, but he wanted to be together, and I was like, nah, I'm good. I don't really want to do that. I'm focusing on school, so I'm good. So we literally dated for like 9 months. Literally dated. And people in New York date different. Dudes down here, they think dating is them coming to your house every night. In New York, you date, we go out.
But that's a southern thing.
Correct.
Because we ain't got money like that
right.
for real.
So we having a good time. So now mind you, I done told this guy I only want to date. I ain't looking for no serious relationship. I meet Jamel working in housekeeping. This guy gets on the elevator. He actually one that trained me. He gets on the elevator.
He a trainer?
He gets on. The manager calls him up to train me.
Sleeping with the teacher.
So we get on the elevator. He says, "Hey, my name is Jamel, but you can call me Grandmaster J for short." So I looked at him and I said, "Is that supposed to be like a pickup line? Does that work?" So it's literally me, the manager, him. The manager's trying everything he has not to laugh. So we get to the, I don't know what floor he's on. I walk off the elevator. So I can hear them talking. So I'm laughing in my head like, oh yeah, that had to hurt. Because he really thought, I guess he thought that was a good pickup line.
Yeah.
So he's literally, it sounds bad. I don't mean it the way it's going to come out. He's literally chasing me now for months, trying to date me. And I'm like, no, I'm not dating you. Like, no, you too corny, you cheesy. And I'm telling Ashley, this corny, cheesy dude is trying to date me. And it's like, ew, like, get away from me.
He who findeth the good thing.
Correct. So then, now it's another guy that is kind of trying to talk to me at the hospital. So now it's like you can see it's like a challenge for both of them now to try to talk to you. For some reason, it's something about not being where the person is from that people find attractive. I have a southern accent. I'm not New York at all. So it's like it's just an extra thing.
You're right. It is attractive. My wife from St. Louis.
And it's like
St. Louis.
And I bet when she got here, everybody was just like, that's just how it is. So then you go to him, invite me to church. I'm going to go to the church. Nice church. Yeah. So he invites me to the church. I go to the church. Guess who don't show up for church? The same guy that invited me to church.
So he said you going on a blind date with Jesus.
Correct. Now here's the funny thing. I'm in the church. It's a big church. And I'm looking for him. I don't see him. So I sit down. So you know how they do this. They do this, I guess, at every church. If you're a new person, stand up. I don't want to stand up. So I'm like, all right, God. But God is like, stand up. So I stand up. Then this lady, she's like, oh, hey, how you doing? Give me this hug or whatever. So let's fast forward to months later after I'm actually dating Jamel at this point, right? It's his grandmother. The same lady that I met at the church that he invited me to his grandma. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So actually dating him like a month in. So I was like, are we like together or something? He was like, yeah. He was like, yeah, I ain't talking about nobody.
So you gave him the choice.
That surprisingly, right? Mind you, I still got the other dude. Now, mind you, I'm still talking to the other dude.
Wow.
We still dating because again, I don't do relationships. We just date. And he's like, yeah, I ain't talking about you. Better not be talking to nobody. And I was like, well, I was talking to the dude Mark. He's like, oh, you can stop talking to him. Now, you know me. When somebody tell me, I'm looking at you like,
who you to tell me what I'm finna do?
Guess what I said? Okay. Got in my car, drove to Mark's house, and I was like, hey, can you come downstairs? Mark comes downstairs. He comes outside. He's like, what's up, D? He tried to give me a hug. I stepped back. He's like,
like a movie.
Right. So I say, I think I got a boyfriend. And he says, whoa, D. He just looking at me. He just kept saying, whoa, D, like bag. He just bags up. He just keep bagging up. And he's like, whoa. And he just keeps bagging up till he eventually gets to his door in his apartment. He goes in. I feel horrible. I felt so bad. Here I am telling somebody I've been dating for like 7-8 months.
Yeah, you
that on one date. I did, and I felt horrible. But it ain't my fault.
That's true. You wasn't looking for nothing.
I wasn't. Correct.
Yeah.
And so now I get in my truck. I drive home college. He was like, "Well, you dumped them." I'm like, "Yeah." He was like, "Okay." He happy.
That's funny.
He happy at this point. I feel bad. I feel horrible. I feel horrible talking about it now. So, because you can just see the hurt on somebody's face, like that's a horrible thing, and it's not your intent. But I really feel bad. I feel bad.
Wow.
I got over it though, but I feel bad.
So, how long were you guys dating before you get married?
A year.
Okay.
We were down here at Alicia's house, and she's getting ready to do my hair, and she's getting ready to cut my tracks out because I need to get a fresh sew in because I only got my hair done when I came down here. So him and her ex-husband at the time were in the living room playing the game, and so it was a whole bunch of people at her house, which is not uncommon. And we're getting ready to she's getting ready to take my hair down. So I keep saying, babe, go get the scissors, get some scissors out of my bag. And he's like, I'm gonna go get them. So he's like pacing, he's playing the game, but he's like pacing in the living room. And I'm like, babe, go get the scissors. Like, I need to get my hair taken out. Mind you, we all still talking, so it's like not like pressing to get the scissors, but it's like, get the scissors. So he just keeps walking around, keep pacing. And it was just like random. He just randomly did it right there at that moment. I got my hair sticking on top of my head, gonna get tracks cut out, and it was like the perfect moment. He asked me then.
Wow.
Yep. My family was pissed.
Because they weren't there?
Yeah. But again,
how many times have they been there?
Right.
That's the thing.
So my family to me is my support system, which is Alicia, which is Ashley, which is now Evelyn. But all those people, that's my support. You know, and I got 2 cousins that are really close to Punkin and Jada. That's my support. So if anything happens in life, those are the people that are going to be there more so than anybody else. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I love my dad, don't get me wrong, but again, we weren't that close at that time. So it's like, you know, if you're not there for, you're not there for. So I got the happiest moment of my life. I got all these people calling me going off. And then his folks, they're in New York. They're upset because he asked in Alabama and they weren't there for it. So we're trying to enjoy the happiest moment of life. And everybody is, right. This is not even your moment. And it was just like, oh my goodness, you got to be kidding me. But, yeah.
So, does that make a moment where you and he become secluded with your relationship?
No, not necessarily secluded. Don't nobody make me go back in. That ain't how I operate. If you don't like it, kick rocks.
No, I'm talking about like you don't share what's going on with y'all.
I share everything. I don't have no problem. If you ask, I'm going to tell.
Okay.
I mean, I don't share anything. I hardly share on social media. But if you ask, I'm going to tell. But, you know, it's just... And I also know not to let people kill my joy. If I'm happy about a moment and you don't like it, that's you. I'm going to be happy regardless. If you come, you come. If you don't, you don't.
Because happiness is fleeting, but joy is forever.
Correct.
It's one of the fruits of the Spirit. If God is with you, joy is in the midst.
Correct. So I don't have time for that. So I don't care.
So, you know, just for clarification, you and your husband, your husband is the head of the house, you know, and you get that construct from Christianity. Why? Some people say you're a black woman. Why you want to serve Christ?
Why not? I mean, you gonna serve something. You gonna bow to something. Ooh. You gonna bow to something. Sorry.
Ooh.
You just
so
are.
Even those who say there is no God,
you bow to something. You bow to something. Like, and people who say they're stupid, it don't even sound right. I mean, I ain't calling you stupid, but if you believe you stupid, I'm sorry. Like, you know
in your
what I'm
opinion,
like, yeah, like it's like there has to be something. I just don't understand how you don't see that there's something bigger than you controlling everything. When there's moments where something makes absolutely no sense, but I know it's God. Who do you think it is then? Who was it? Tell me who it was. The universe? Oh, yeah, the universe, sure. Like, tell me who it is. Like, make it because you just saying what I'm telling you don't make sense. But if you tell me the universe, that don't make sense to me, so explain it some more. Oh. You got to give me some.
Yeah.
But I just let people who don't believe. I just listen. I do my part. If you want to know, I'll tell you. I'm put it out there. You guys, all the questions you want, I'll show you. You can follow me around if you want to. But if you don't believe, I ain't got time to sit and wrestle with the devil because I ain't got it up. Yeah. But I can give you all the information you want. But some people just spend too much time wrestling and trying to make people believe something. Sometimes it's like.
And the truth of the matter
I ain't got it up, man.
For clarification, if you are a subscriber to Christianity, if you're a follower of Yeshua, then you know that he didn't make nobody do nothing. He actually wasn't trying to convince anybody of anything.
Because he ain't got time for that.
He just was. He was who he was. Or he is who he is. Yeah. Because I am who I am. If you know, then you know.
Yeah, that's it.
That's all it is to it. You get what I'm saying?
And he's very generous. He give you a choice. You know how easy it is. How easy it is to make you believe something. I love you too much for that. I love you enough to give you free will to decide whatever you think is best for you.
And there's a scripture that say, if you believe in the confusion, I will send an illusion to verify your belief. People don't even realize they caught in the illusion. But the illusion came because you wanted it so bad.
Yeah. Some people really do. Really do. But hey.
That's wild. So
there's too much more important stuff to do that. So
who experienced success first? You or your husband?
How do you find it?
I mean, you define success.
Well, it's different. It's different components of our relationship where we define success.
Okay.
As far as being a Christian, just loving God, you know, sometimes you look at yourself, you didn't really live that life all the way. You know,
True.
you believe, but you didn't. And
True.
I think for me, my husband knows the Bible backwards and forward.
Mm-hmm.
He can explain anything, any question you have, anything you think you want to know.
Mm-hmm.
If you talking about some part, he like, yeah, and then it said this and it said this. If you need to know about any person that did this, the background, he understands all of that.
Mm-hmm.
So to meet somebody who understands that right there, like you way more advanced in that level than me, because I hated history, hated with a passion, and so in my mind it's like I love God, but you don't want to know the book. You gotta like history. You gotta like history.
Oh, you gotta at least be nosy enough to want to know people's business.
But I don't know none of it. I know some of these people in there, but I can't tell you nothing about them. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I gotta know that. So I think in that component of our relationship, like understanding, you can't have a relationship with somebody if you don't spend time and you don't know nothing about them.
That's what they mean when they say equally yoked.
Right.
You got to spend time in order to become alike.
But a lot of us say we are and say we have a relationship. No, you don't. You know how to pray every now and then when you feel like it. And some people don't even know how to pray.
You're right.
They don't. They'll just be like, I ain't said nothing. Or when you ask them to pray, grab my hand and pray, they uncomfortable. Yes. You can't. If I'm in a relationship with somebody, I'm not finna be uncomfortable to hold your hand in public. I ain't finna be uncomfortable to say, this my boo. We ain't together.
That's right.
We together in private. That ain't no real relationship. So it's like, understanding all that stuff about that, I think that's where his strong suit was, and he helped me get to that point. As far as business wise and stuff like that, my husband is a very nonchalant. He like to be in his own little corner, his own little chair. I'm the
his own little corner, own little chair turned into a business.
Correct.
Literally.
Correct. Yeah.
Own corner, own chair turned into some money.
So that's where we go to. Okay, you get married. Let's not stay in an apartment forever. That's just stupid. You're just wasting money. These apartments are too expensive in New York. You pay $1,800 a month for what? For this little box?
How many square feet?
Why don't you? I don't even know.
It was less than
It was little, very little. So you paying all that for what? Okay, why don't we make good money? Why don't we buy a house and it's ours and we're just paying a little bit more, but it's yours? Yeah. So that's where you move from Brooklyn to Queens. Mm-hmm. And then you get a house. Okay, this is perfect. This works right here. Okay. So now, knowing that, loving my husband to death, but your mama and them didn't teach you how to manage money. I don't think you know, and I think me knowing what it was like to not have made me manage better, because I never want to be to the point to where I'm without. I got to ask somebody for anything. That was my thought process. And he was just like, you spend it, I got to ask my grandma to borrow, I got to ask my mama to borrow, my dad to give it to me. And so learning that together in the process. And then him wanting to scream and turning it into a business. Helping do all that stuff, helping properly invest money. Like, you can buy stuff that you want to buy, but why don't you buy it and just turn it into a business? You're going to play the game anyway. Put it up on Facebook, put it up on YouTube, and see what happens. So that idea came from you? Kind of, sort of. He always had the idea, but it was like, let's just do it the right way.
You gave him you were the support for him in that moment.
Correct. Always.
Men, having a wife is everything. Because when you are unsure of who you are and what to do, she look at you and say, why are you questioning that? Yeah. You know what's going on. Yeah. And ain't nobody got to like it but me. Yeah. Do it. Yeah. And that's everything. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So he do what you say. How much money he spend?
What you mean?
On all getting this stuff.
I think we bought a cheaper computer at that time. I think like $1,700, probably like $1,800.
Hold on, the computer was $1,700?
Yeah, it was cheaper then. We got that in 2016. What? That's expensive?
Yeah.
That's cheap for a gaming PC.
I mean, I know that now because I'm into it, but 2016.
That's just the computer. You ain't talking graphics cards, and he got a screen right here, a screen right here, and a screen right here. I don't know what for. He wants the chair. The chair was $400 by itself. The table, all the other stuff that come with it. Now we got to upgrade the internet because he wants it the upload, download speed. Enough. I don't understand all that stuff.
But you support it.
Right. It's just every other day, baby, we got to get this. Oh, okay, let's get it. You know, we saving money because, again, I'm managing money. You got to remember, we're making a lot of money. We have no kids. We're making bank. So it's not a problem to spend it.
Because you got it.
And if it's going to make us money, at this time, he's returning money like it ain't nothing. So if you need, let's get it. Of course, I'm going to complain because it's just me. I think I'm a complainer sometimes, especially with money. But if you got to get it, let's get it. Let's get it. And it's working and it's going. So then you get to him being so excited and happy with it, and everything is going perfectly fine. He's working, I'm working, we got this. But now you got to look at yourself and say, okay, I'm not happy. Why am I not happy?
So he's successful right now. What is he making?
I'm talking about like in a month he's pulling in like almost $3,000.
$3,000 a month?
That's just off screaming.
That's playing the game.
You got highs and lows. Highs and lows.
Yeah, but that's still good.
He ain't making no less. I think the low end is like $1,200.
$1,200 a month.
This is right. This is outside of working. This is just playing the game. You doing this? All you doing is you playing the game and you got to talk to people, which he like.
Yeah, that's his thing.
Most people don't like to play the game by themselves. When you play the game, you want everybody around. You want to talk to them how you playing the game. So instead of the person being here, they're on the computer screen. And they got this thing to where you become a supporter. If you're a supporter, it's a subscription. Just like getting Netflix, you paying him $7.99 a month.
Yeah.
Plus the stars you drop him if he do something cool. If he jump off the roof and shoot the dude in the middle of the forehead.
Yeah.
Law, if you do that right now, bro, I'll send you this many stars, bro. And he like, all right, bet, jump off, bloop, there you go. And not only is he gonna send the stars, all the rest of them so excited, they gonna drop the stars.
That's wild.
And
it's just that's exactly why that's going into this channel. I just want y'all to know we're gonna be playing the game on this channel. But that's amazing.
People will pay. People don't like to go out no more.
Yeah. People
are homebodies. So when you give them something entertaining to do, people pay for it. I don't know why I ain't paying for no good, but hey.
I've been through a lot. And only one thing ever really sticks to me. No matter what I go through, it always affects me. When I hustle up or don't have a dime, I'ma go mine. Good times and the bad times, they heavy on my mind. Tapered up or I'm starched down. Either way is mine. I feel fine, but everything around affect my vivid mind.